Okay. Check this is boy hung boy you. Boy hung boy you, basically. The equivalent of what they call a childless woman or would never be married and favorite in that society in China, basically. China is having an equivalent of what they call American sausage party, where in the UK and Jamaica and places like America, they would say a sausage party. Basically, from the 1980s to 2015, they ran the basically one fetus child thing, where basically they favored more males than females. So they would literally abort all the females. They would literally have abortions like to the point where they created so many males that now all the females are 51% more educated, and higher educated students 14% points are more than 20 years earlier. This younger generation of women benefited from the one-child policy, basically because they got their grants and things like that, because basically they were the minorities. Basically, China, it is awful. So now all the guys in China basically complain about not being married and can't be married. But think about it. It is impossible. There is like 150 million of y'all, basically. Let me make sure to correct. There's literally, by 2007, there will be 22 more marriage age men than women, meaning that translates to 119 million of marriage age for every 100 women. That is so sad. Meaning that, and they're all doing things like complaining about feminism and how life is messed up and we can't get married. But it is, you guys aren't really calculating it right. You guys really need to literally find new professions and jobs and stuff like that, because I'm going to keep it real with you. You're not going to be able to talk to them because they're mostly 51% more educated, and they're going to judge you for simply not having a job. And when you guys are literally hanging out and talking on social media about them, which only translate to worse things, because they're saying you're anti-feminism and anti-this, which is really sad. But all you guys need to do is try to create some problems that literally solve that. You guys need to literally start doing something where you guys are going to be competing. You need to keep up with someone like me, man. You need to get in the competing game of my fans, because the people that follow me are sports players. We're very competitive, and we are not trying to sit around and complain. We're trying to do exactly what I'm doing right now, where I'm talking about this while I'm about to head to the library. We're not trying to say, oh, she makes so much money and she won't marry me. That's bull. We're going to try to keep away from that. But it is so sad that it is the way it is, and it's so hard to migrate number to other countries. But check this out. I guess you guys are the new minorities, and pretty much a lot of women are going to probably love you in America or love you in the UK. I mean, you guys are going to probably have to think of a really good strategy. You guys are going to have to talk to other races. It is so weird that it's the strategy of it is so rich and complex that you guys are going to actually have to learn how to talk to girls like are white, Russian, black. You guys are going to have to do that, and you guys are going to have to reach out and form things. They're like new databases where people keep track of databases. Like right now, the best thing to make money in China is literally starting your own database agency in China, where you try to hook professional men with women, or you try to hook people with women. And people from the rural villages are literally having the worstest time meeting someone. It is awful. It is it is like the Love Jones of the sausage fest, basically. The Love Jones of the sausage fest. It is one of the worstest complex things I ever read, and the saddest thing I ever read in my life. I thought I had it bad. I thought I was single. I literally can walk down the street and run into a random probability more than 5 guys can meet someone in China, which is really sad. But that is an interesting factor. They really have to find ways to turn that around and not repeat the same mistakes. You guys are going to have to be the super matchmakers. If I was a guy in China, I would get a group of guys together and start doing dating events and matchmaking events while I try to meet my own person too. It is really interesting. That it is like that, and it is estimated that young migrant worker would have to save literally $18,700 basically just for marriage. Cause in there, it's like people in the culture has like a marriage tax. They literally have it where you have to literally tax a bridegroom basically just to get married. Basically, it's interesting. It is really interesting. It is really interesting. So boy, boy, you. And I'm not a person that condones being racist or anything like that. Just I put a disclaimer up when I talk to things like this. I believe in equal rights and equal fairness for both sexes, and I believe women can do whatever they can do. And I believe it's the year 2026. Women can do anything they want, and the problem is, I think women have to be flexible too, because it's the year 2006, and it's that bad. You see the stats. You're going to have to cope with that guy and help him out, and deal with him and marry him and work with what you have, because that is all you have. And basically you got to be understanding too. And guys, we can't bash that the government did that and literally that policy messed the whole country up. So we can't bash women to the point where we're getting negative things and getting arrested or something like that in China. Please, my fans, we're realists, okay? Make sure you guys go out, do what you got to do, and do what you do and get your trades and get your work. Jason Loftus over and out. Bless.